So welcome to the practice. This is a session that will focus on this area of the side of the neck and the shoulders, so that we can really start to create some space around the neck, the whole circumference of the neck, and work a little bit also on drawing the head of the arm bones back so that we have this lovely space between the shoulders and the neck. So often we carry tension around the neck and shoulders, and I don't know whether it's lifestyle, we're on our computers we've got a forward action with the shoulders. It can be any number of things. Sometimes when we're stressed, we hold the tension there. So this is a session about dissipating some of that tension and really feeling our way via the breath into the neck space. I'm also very interested in this relationship between strength and softness, and how we can be both things at the same time. And I think we're expected to be strong. We have so many things that ask us to be strong and to keep going and to be, strong within ourselves. So it is necessary to feel that strength, particularly in our practice. But what I find more interesting is how can we maintain a strong body, a strong position, and at the same time find softness. So we're going to work a lot on strengthening in the legs, balancing poses, and rather than holding the tension in our necks and in our jaws and in our faces as we try to keep strong and steady, how can we at the same time find kind of elegance, a kind of softening, a sweetness around this very delicate part of our body. I'm also going to touch a little bit today on how we can allow energy to rise from the heart, particularly the heart chakra, into the throat chakra. So for those of you that have done chakras with me before, you'll remember maybe that this is the area of our communication, the neck, the throat, and how we can free up space and allow energy to flow naturally between the love in our heart and the way that we're communicating. So let's take a comfortable seat. We're going to move the flesh of the buttocks back. You can just rock a little bit from side to side on your sit bones to feel the balance. Bring your fingertips onto the floor behind you. We're going to push down a little bit, just the fingertips, and that's going to help us to keep a lengthening through the spine and through the side body. We're almost going to lean back slightly, so put some weight onto your fingertips. And you can close your eyes. And as you breathe, notice a rooting down from the pelvis through the leg bones into your feet, into the earth. And with the inhale, perhaps you can notice a lengthening, a lifting of the torso, an expansion. We'll keep the lift in the torso and bring the hands to Anjali Mudra in front of the heart. And the heart that represents the center, the place of the middle between the earth, the rooting down, and the sky and the lifting upwards. And we'll chant together the sound of Om 3 times and the Anusara invocation once, closing with an Om. So from the heart, take a deep inhale. Oh. Nityanandamurtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase Gently bow your head to your heart. Lift your heart to your head. Release your hands. Lift your chin. Open your eyes. Okay, we're actually going to start seated today. We're going to cross our right leg right the way over our left. Our Gomukhasana leg. So this is one variation if that's available to you. We want both sit bones on the floor. Another variation is to extend the bottom leg. And another variation is to sit crisscross in Siddhasana. So you choose whichever's available to you. That's great. And we're actually going to separate the feet a little more than where we land. But the most important here is that we have both sit bones on the floor. So if you end up with one lifting up, you can move the foot a little closer again. And whichever variation you're taking, we're going to be activating the feet, which means that we're pushing through the pad of the foot, and both feet. And that just creates a little bit of a firmer base. We're going to use the hands to move the flesh of the buttocks back. Good. So we have left on top. No, you have right on top, I have left on top. I'm trying to do a mirror. And then we're going to bring the left hand onto the floor, fingertips onto the floor. Inhale your right arm high. And as you exhale, we're simply going to lean across to your left side. So you can actually move the left fingertips out slightly and bend the left elbow in towards your body. Breathing here. So one of the ideas of this side opener is to create space right the way from the right hip up into your right underarm. We're going to let the head hang. So it's going to feel slightly different for the neck, letting it hang like that. We're going to relax the left shoulder down and create some space here through the right side body and through the right side of the neck, breathing here. Now keeping the head where it is and the torso leaning to your left, we're going to bring your right arm down, only the right arm, open the fingers and breathe here. So we're kind of hovering it above the ground. We're not yet touching the ground with the right fingertips. We're going to open the fingers and move the hands slightly back. Now lift the thumb towards the sky so we get an external rotation of the shoulder and breathe. Bring some awareness via your breath right into that right side of the neck. So much of dissipating tension, whether it be physical, mental, emotional, is to do with bringing your awareness into that area. It's kind of shining the light of your awareness right there. And using your breath to move into that area, to bring all of your attention right into where you feel the most sensation in the neck. Let's bring this hand now, thumb down, and we're going to bring the back of the hand towards the back of the heart, right in the thoracic spine. And feel free to move the neck a little. You can draw the chin towards the chest. Breathe there for a couple of breaths. We're really looking here for opening. The neck has so many little muscles that are keeping it together, and we're really looking at moving into those little pockets of muscle and bringing our breathing right there. You might want to lift the chin slightly. There's going to be a lot of sensation right now around the neck. As the feet stay active. Good, and then bring the arm out again, extended out to your right. And then keeping the arm out, we're going to inhale and bring the torso back to center. And the head too, and release down. There might be quite a lot of sensation going on in that right side of the neck. We're going to roll the shoulders forward gently. And backwards. And then stretch your legs. Give them a little shake. And we'll change sides. So now you guys have your left leg on top. And again, taking whichever variation is going to allow for you to keep both sit bones on the ground. The toes are active. We'll use the hands to move the flesh of the buttocks back. This time your right fingertips from the floor, yes. This is going to get confusing, left and right fingertips. And as you inhale, go ahead and bring your left arm high. And as you exhale, bend the right elbow in towards the body and bring the left arm alongside the head. We're going to allow the head to drop. So maybe there's a natural tendency to hunch the shoulders. We're going to bring our awareness to our natural tendencies today with the neck, with the shoulders, and allow the shoulder to drop, the right shoulder. Allow the head to drop. And breathe. Perhaps there's an inclination to lift the left hip. We want to root the left hip down. And create space between the left hip and the left underarm. Breathe. And keeping the torso where it is, we're going to bring this left arm slowly down. And we can lift the thumb so we get this nice external rotation of the shoulder. And then perhaps you can drop your head a little more. If there is any painful sensation, then you can adjust the position of your head to find greater comfort. The invitation, which really follows tantric philosophy, is wherever that sensation is strongest, rather than trying to avoid it, we move the light of our awareness right there, via our breath. And this way, that contraction, sensation begins to dissolve, begins to get less as the awareness gets greater. Let's turn the thumb downwards and bring the back of the hand now towards the middle of the back of the heart, the middle of the back. And perhaps you can find in this position you can drop the head a little more. And perhaps you can feel space between your left ear and the left shoulder. You can experiment a little bit by bringing the chin down more towards your chest. Breathing. And then bring the arm out once more. And when we come back to center, the head is the last thing to come back to center. So we almost pull with the left arm as a lever to invite the torso back, and then the head follows suit. And gently bring the hand down. And release your legs, roll your shoulders. And the shoulders can come back as well. Okay, and we'll come to hands and knees, please. So the wrists are in line with the shoulders, the The index fingers are lined up, and we're going to bring the knees back slightly. So the arms are coming back at a slight gradient. Tuck your toes. Inhale into the back of the heart here. And as you exhale, lift your hips, move your heels backwards as you stretch out into Adho Mukha Svanasana. And I'd like you just to shake your head gently here. We're aligning the ears with the inner edges of the upper arms. I'd like you to bend your knees and lift your hips and lift your underarms. And with the hips lifted, with every exhale, notice how you can soften your heart down towards the ground. We can visualize a direct line of energy, a current running right the way from our hearts through the neck, through the head, into the skull, the top of the head. And then extend your heels in the direction of the ground. Bend your right knee. Keeping your underarms lifted, visualize lengthening through both sides of the neck. So the crown of the head is still extended towards the ground, but we're making long both sides of the neck. Good, and then change sides. So it's quite nice being in these inverted poses because it gives our neck a little bit of a break from carrying the weight of our head around. Getting a nice blood flow to the brain. Change sides again, bending your right knee. And change sides again, bending the left knee. Good. Both sides of the neck long, hips are high. And then walk your feet slowly towards your hands, coming into Uttanasana. And we'll catch our elbows here. And we'll let the head hang. So we're almost, with the arms, we're almost making like a little frame for the head. It hangs between the arms. We're going to bring some awareness now into our feet. And as you breathe with the back of the neck long and the head heavy, we're going to firm the big toes. Firm the big toe mounds, where the base of the big toe joins the foot. And draw energetically back through the inner heel. Move your inner thighs back. Perhaps bring some weight forwards onto your toes, releasing the head, breathing. Lift the hips. And see if you can find, with the activation of the legs, a little bit more freedom through the spine, through the sides of the neck, through the back of the neck. And then bring your fingertips to the floor. And keeping the strong engagement in the legs, inhale your heart forwards and exhale down. And again, keep the legs active. Inhale forwards and exhale out. Bring your hands to your hips. Keep the big toes firm. Keep the inner heels moving back. And roll your shoulders back towards the back of your heart. Squeeze your elbows together. And as you move your thighs back, extend your heart forwards. Just be aware of any natural tendency in the neck here. Whether you're sort of straining to look up. The head's an extension of the spine. As you inhale, rise to stand, looking forwards, and exhale, release your hands down. Breathe. Turn your palms forwards. Breathe. Notice sensation. And see that your feet are the distance of your hips, and they're parallel, which means that the second toe is in line with the middle of your ankle. And the thumbs are lifting towards the sky so that we get this nice external rotation of the shoulders. And interlace your fingers behind your back. You can rest your hands on your sacrum. And activate your legs. So starting from the big toes, we draw energetically from the big toes back towards the inner heel. And then we're going to squeeze the lower legs together. Move the inner thighs back, widening your sit bones out behind you. Lengthen your tailbone down. So from the pelvis, we're rooting right the way down through the legs, into our feet, into the earth. We feel that strong engagement. Then bring your ribs in slightly, the sides of your waist back. Good. And again, an external rotation in the shoulders. You can bring your hands slightly away from your sacrum here. Notice the tendency in your neck and your jaw. And see if you can, although the legs are working hard to stay strong and active, see if you can bring an air of softness to the neck. Through the breath, through your attention, through the quality of your awareness. Good. As you inhale now, lift the heart. And as you exhale, bow with the fingers interlaced and lifting the interlaced fingers towards the sky. Breathe. The big toe mound is still firm on the ground. And the shoulders are lifting up away from the ears. You can shake your head a little bit here. Maybe do some circles. You might want to do some movements with your shoulders. Breathe. You can feel the whole cylinder of the neck long, the weight of the head hanging heavy. Lifting your sit bones, maybe even lifting your shoulders a bit higher away from your ears. And then release slowly your hands down towards the ground. And as you inhale, extend your heart forwards and let your head follow the direction of your heart. And exhale, bow. And again, let your heart lead the way as you inhale, opening the throat. And exhale, bow. And we'll step back into plank pose. So keep that beautiful awareness around the neck as you breathe here. The sides of the waist are lifted. And the heart is extended forwards, and we're gazing. Our gaze follows the extension of the heart. So we're looking forwards and down. We're keeping the sides of the waist lifted, the sides of the neck are long. And exhale, slowly lower down, Chaturanga. Let's take Spider Cobra. So we're going to separate our hands just a little wider than the mat. The tops of the feet are on the floor. You can bring your forehead down or lower it in the direction of the floor. And we'll start by lengthening from the side body. So from the hips, as you inhale, lengthen all the way up into the underarms. And as you exhale, roll the shoulders back. You can lift the head slightly. Breathe on here. So the head is following the natural curve of the spine in this little back bend. The elbows are wide, the shoulders are rolling back, and perhaps you can feel a little integration of the shoulder blades towards the back of the heart. Notice if you can soften your neck any. So although we are using the back muscles and the shoulder blades, the muscles all around the shoulder blades to support us, can we soften the neck? As you inhale, lift up through the heart. And as you exhale, soften the back of the neck. And then slowly lower down. Place your hands under your shoulders, tuck your toes, push back into Adho Mukha. And breathe. And enjoy the breath as it fills your body with life and vibrancy. Bring your feet together, please. And as you inhale, we'll bring the left leg high. And as you exhale, step forward, lunge. Place your back foot and rise to stand. So here we're aligning the front heel with the curve of the back foot. Inhale, extend your arms out. And exhale, go ahead and bend your front knee. And you'll know if you need to separate your feet more, because you'll see that your top thigh, your front thigh, is not parallel to the ground. So if you get it parallel to the ground, then you know that your feet are separated enough. You can go adjusting slightly if necessary. So Virabhadrasana 2, let's turn the palms upwards. I love that for the shoulders, to get this nice opening through the shoulders. Let's focus on the legs. So the big toes are firm. We're drawing energetically back from the big toes towards the back of our inner heels. We're going to sit a little lower. Good. Let's see if you can relax your shoulders somewhat. Relax your arms, gazing softly forwards. Let's bring the back hand down to the back thigh and take reverse warrior. So the left arm comes high to the sky. Breathe. Perhaps you can sit a little lower. And then we're going to do something similar to what we did when we were seated. We're going to drop our right ear down towards our right shoulder. You may need to bring the chin slightly to the chest to find a greater level of comfort. Breathing here. The legs stay strong. And then we're going to bring our left arm towards the front end of our mat. So bringing it forward. Yeah. So as we breathe here, we're inviting an opening through the left side of the neck. We're now going to bend the left elbow and bring the back of the hand towards the back of the heart. Right in the thoracic spine. Good. Maybe the chin can come slightly to the chest as we keep dropping the right ear in the direction of the right leg. Good. Bring the left arm out again. And then inhale, come back to Virabhadrasana 2. Well done. Breathe. And then we'll come all the way down to the ground and step back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. And as always, feel free in Adho Mukha to make yourself more at home in your body, making any adjustments that feel good for you. We have this wonderful opportunity every time we come to Adho Mukha to give the neck a little rest. Feel the weight of the head as it hangs. Lift up through the sit bones. Soften down through the heart. Inhale, come to plank pose. Gaze softly forwards. Exhale, lower down, Chaturanga. Inhale, rise, cobra. Just a mini cobra here. And as you breathe in your cobra, see if you can soften through the back of the neck. As you inhale, lift up through the crown of the head. And as you exhale, soften through the front of the neck. As you inhale, lengthen the sides of the neck. And exhale, soften the back of the heart. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, Adho Mukha. Bring your feet together and bring your right leg high. Lift both shoulders, lift your left shoulder, make both legs strong and straight. Keep your right hip parallel to your left hip, the ears in line with the inner biceps. And then inhale, step forwards with your right foot. Place your left heel and rise to stand. Turn around this way so I get to see you still. Inhale, extend your arms out. Good. And exhale, go ahead and bend your front knee. That's a good sign. Good. Breathing here. Turn your palms to face upwards. So Virabhadrasana 2, the warrior pose, we're looking forwards. We have equal attention on the back, but on what's going on behind us. So the back heel, the back outer edge of the back foot, back fingers, even the back of the head. We're shifting awareness towards the back. And yet we're gazing forwards and we have the big toe of the front foot firm. Perhaps we're even gazing a little bit longer than the middle finger on the front arm. When we have awareness equally on the back as well as the front, we come to the place of the middle. Perhaps we come to our heart, extending from the pelvis right out through both legs. And then lifting from the heart high up into your crown. Let's bring the back hands down and the top arm high, coming into reverse warrior. And the palm is facing towards the back end of your mat. And sitting nice and low, we can actually drop the left ear down in the direction of the left leg. And maybe even the chin can come down towards the chest. Breathe and let the depth of your breath sustain you. Feel the strength in your legs, particularly the lift in the back thigh, and then sit lower. Bring your right arm forwards with the fingertips in the direction of the front edge of your mat, and with the front knee still bent, perhaps you can even drop your head a little lower on your left side. It's interesting, it's curious, it's different what we're doing here with the neck. Finding space as we breathe into different aspects of the neck, different parts of the neck. Bend the right elbow and bring the back of the palm towards the middle of your back. So we get this stretch and opening through the right side of the neck. Maybe even bend your front knee a little more. Good. And then bring the right arm towards the front of the mat. Inhale, come back to center, Virabhadrasana 2. Maybe you can feel your neck kind of crackling and fizzy. And then bring your hands down and we'll stretch out in Adho Mukha. Let's take a child's pose here now. So bring the knees to the floor, separated, your big toes together, and let your forehead rest. Perhaps you can feel lots of sensation around the sides of your neck. Perhaps the neck feels more alive. increased blood flow to that area. To come and lie down on our tummies with our forearms on the ground. A little Sphinx pose here. So the hands are the distance of our shoulders, and our elbows are under our shoulders. Our fingers are separated, just like in Adho Mukha, and the tops of our feet are on the ground. The pelvis is the focal point of the pose, which means that from the pelvis and towards the pelvis we're drawing energy. So from the feet we're drawing in towards the pelvis, and then from the hands we're pulling back towards the pelvis. So we're really hugging in towards that midline. And then from the pelvis we're also extending back out through the legs, extending the feet far away from us. And from the pelvis we're extending our hearts forwards, dragging the hands back energetically, allowing the heart to emerge. Now, focus on your neck, notice the natural tendency, and allow it to stay soft. The body is in a strong pose, and we're bringing the light of our awareness perhaps to soften the back of the neck as we breathe here. And one more breath. Good, and then lower down. We're going to make a pillow and just rest your head to one side. And then place your hand under your shoulders, tuck your toes, lift your knees, and push back into Adho Mukha. Bring your feet together. Inhale your left leg high, keeping your hips parallel. Exhale, step forward, lunge. Place your back foot, rise to stand. Inhale, extend both arms out. Exhale, bend your front knee. Good. Maybe separate your feet a little more, Begonia. Yeah. And then we're going to bring our front forearm onto our thigh, the back hands to the back hip. Turn your palm up on the left side. Good. So, firming the big toes on the ground, lift your back thigh, and then wrap your front seat underneath you so that your lower belly lifts towards the heart. Push down with your left forearm on your thigh so that your torso lifts up from the core of the pelvis. Now once more we're going to drop the head down towards our left side. So it's a different position for the head to what we're used to here. Bring the right arm out towards the back end of our mat. So just like we've been doing in the previous poses, open the fingers, lift the thumb towards the sky so we get this little external rotation of the shoulder. And then bend the elbow, bring the back of the hand towards the back of the heart. Maybe let the head drop slightly. Breathe. Breathe right into the space that you're creating between the right ear and the right shoulder. Keeping the legs strong, spin your belly high, open towards the sky. And then slowly release the hands down towards the ground and step back. Inhale, come to plank pose. This time, rather than chaturanga, we'll take knees, chest, forehead, knees, chest, chin, to the ground. And then roll forwards and up into a cobra. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Bring your feet together. Inhale your right leg high. And exhale, step forwards. Lunge, left heel on the floor, rise to stand. Aligning the front heel with the back curve. Inhale, extend your arms out. I wish you could see that I'm smiling at you right now. Exhale, go ahead and bend your front knee. Good. And then we'll take from here Parchakonasana, so the front forearm comes down and the back hands to the back hip. Great, guys. And then we'll turn that palm upwards. Make your legs strong, squeeze them together energetically. Move your thighs back. Yeah. And then wrap your front seat underneath you so that we can firm even more the outside edge of the back foot on the ground, getting a lengthening through the side body. And the head is going to drop. The drop as in the ear, the right ear is coming down towards the right shoulder. It's not touching the right shoulder, but it's going in that direction. We're pushing down with the forearm onto the thigh so that we can keep the torso lifted. And then extend the left arm towards the back end of your mat. Turn the thumb towards the sky. Breathing here. Breathing right into that space between the left ear and the left shoulder. Let's now bend the left elbow and bring the back of the left hand towards the back of the heart. Taking this little half bind and maybe even allowing the head to drop a little more towards the right side. Breathing. Keeping the leg strong and steady. Good. Bring the left arm back out, up over the top of the head, and then we'll place it on the floor, stepping back into Adho Mukha. Wonderful, guys. You might want to shake your head with a little no, maybe give it a little nodding yes. You know, that classic Indian kind of maybe, shaking it all in any direction that it wants to go in. Inhale, plank pose. With the exhale, you can take Chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. And inhale, into Cobra. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Bringing your feet together. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, step forwards, lunge. Place your right foot, rise to stand. The last of this little sequence. Inhale, bring both arms out. Exhale, bend your front knee. Open your front knee in the direction of your baby toe. Good. Let's bring the hands to the hips. This time we're going to straighten the front leg. Good. Inhale, lift up through your torso, and as you exhale, we're going to lean across to our left side. With your left hand, we're going to take the half bind. Good. With the top hand, the right arm, we're going to come all the way alongside the right side of the face. Good. Bring the right hand to the hip. Bring the left hand to the floor, taking the Trikonasana hand, or to the outer edge of the left foot. Bring the top arm high, Trikonasana. Now we're going to let the head hang down towards the left leg, Bend the right elbow, taking the half bind on the right side. So the back of the palm comes towards the thoracic spine. External rotation of the right shoulder. The head hang. Maybe the chin can come close to the chest. Good, bring the right arm high again. Look forwards, firm your feet. Inhale, rise to stand. And exhale, release the hands down. Let's turn the feet to face the other way. Inhale, extend your arms out. And exhale, come to Trikonasana on your right side. Let's bring the left hand to the left hip for now. The right hand can come either onto the floor on the outer edge of your right foot or to the right lower leg. Bring the left arm high. Bend the left elbow, bringing the back of the left palm towards the back of the heart, the thoracic spine. Allow the head to drop towards the right leg. Breathe. Feel free to move the head in any way that affords you more opening through the left side of the neck. Breathing right into that left side. Good. Bring the left arm high again. Look forwards. Firm your feet. Inhale, rise to stand. And exhale, release the arms down. Good. Let's bring the feet to face the same direction and then bring the feet together, either through a jump, a step, a stagger, whatever works. Okay. Let's come to the front of our mats and separate your feet hip width apart. Step parallel. Inhale, bring the arms high to the sky. And as you exhale, we're going to take Uttanasana, bending your knees. In fact, let's take downhill skier. Let's bring the arms onto the thighs for now. Let's work on the legs a little. So the knees are in line with the ankles. The inner thighs are moving back. The tailbone is long. And then from the pelvis, we're rooting all the way down through the legs into the feet. Interlace the fingers now behind the back. Yeah. Externally rotate the shoulders towards the back of your mat. Tailbone long, and then lift from your heart up into your throat. Inhale, rise. And exhale, release. And breathe. Close your eyes for a moment. And visualize a current of energy rising from your heart center up through your throat and back down again. If we could literally lift the qualities of an open heart, compassion, understanding, all the way up into our communication chakra, into our throats. So that every time we went to speak, we were informed by our hearts. And sometimes that means not speaking at all, opening our ears, even our inner ears. And then we'll take one more vinyasa here. here. So with the inhale, lift from your heart, lift up to the sky. And as you exhale, join your palms and bow to the earth. Inhale your heart forwards. And exhale, step back, plank pose. Inhale here. Exhale, choose between chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, rise, cobra. And exhale, Adho Mukha. Inhale your right foot forward, bring your left knee to the floor, please. Bring your hands to your front thigh. Tuck your back toes under. Yeah, and those back toes tucked under just allow us to keep the muscular integrity of the lower body. If you need to turn the side of your mat, you can do that to protect the knee. So take a moment to arrive. We're now starting to open the front of the body. We're going to, from the feet, we're going to squeeze in towards the pelvis. So lifting up through the pelvic floor muscles. The hands can come to the hips. And then we're going to lean forward so that we can bring the inner back thigh back. Lengthening the tailbone down gives us such great access through the front of the body. And the arms into waitress, waiter pose. And then in fact we'll bring the hands interlaced behind the back of the head. You can bring the thumbs down the sides of the neck there. And the elbows are going to come towards the front of the room. You can actually integrate the shoulder blades a little bit further down towards the back and lift the heart, leaning the head back towards our hands. Breathing with an open throat. The strength in the legs is affording us opening through the heart and through the neck. And slowly coming back to center, releasing the hands down and stepping back as in. We are coming down to the mat very soon, ladies. And then go ahead and bring your left leg forward and the right knee down. Hands to the front thigh. Good. Yeah. We'll bring the hands to the hips. Squeezing the legs together. Leaning forward so that we can bring the inner thighs back, widening the hips. And then lengthening your tailbone down. And the arms come out. Lift up through your heart. And then go ahead, interlace your fingers behind your head. It's like providing a little support for the weight of your head here. The thumbs go down the sides of the neck. The elbows go forwards, integrating the shoulder blades, lift your heart, and maybe even push your head back towards your hands as we keep the sides of the neck long, the back of the neck long, and lift from the heart into your throat. And then slowly come back to center. Release the hands and step back out of the And we'll take another child's pose here. Coming down, separating your knees, big toes together, forehead down. Let your whole body breathe. Breathe into your back body. Breathe into the back of your neck. allowing your heart to soften towards the earth. And then slowly come to hands and knees. Okay, we're going to take a little restorative pigeon here. So we're going to bring the left leg forwards with the left foot behind the right hand. The left knee down behind the left hand. Go ahead and lift your right knee up. Move the foot back, so we're really opening that front of the thigh, and then placing it on the floor. We're going to keep the back toes tucked for now, and both feet are active. Okay. We're going to come down to the forearms. So in your pigeon here, be sure to keep your head in line with the rest of your spine. So that might mean stacking your fists and placing your forehead on your fists. That often feels quite nice. You could have your hands in prayer. Allow your body to receive the breath, the nourishing, each breath, allowing for a cleansing of the organs, and the softening as we begin to enter our parasympathetic nervous system, which allows us to rest and digest. And then place your hands and slowly leave the posture. You might like to do a little walking of the dog in between, bending one knee and then the other. And then change side, so the right leg will come forwards. Left knee comes down, back toes tucked, lift the back knee, move it back, place it down. We want to encourage the right hip to be moving down, right to the floor on the right side, and then come down into the forearms. And breathe. And relax your jaw, your mouth. And breathe evenly into both lungs. Breathe into the back of your body and into the front. Place your hands and slowly come out of pose. Tadamukha. Come to take a seat. Okay. We're going to extend our left leg out and bend our right knee in. Variation 1. Variation 2 is going to be taking the right leg into Virasana. The important thing here is that we have both sit bones on the ground and we're creating a right angle. So you can choose. I like Virasana because it encourages an opening through the knee. So if that's available to you, then that's great. And if not, then Janusirsasana, where you get this nice opening through the hip. So with both variations, both sit bones are on the floor. The toes of the extended leg, the left leg, are up, flointed, so sort of pushing through the pad of the foot, and the back of the knee is on the ground. We're going to take a little side stretch here. So with your left hand, we're going to bring on the left side, we're going to bring the elbow down towards the thigh. Yeah, it might be that you're feeling like a little bit extra flexible and you can bring it all the way down to the lower leg. The thigh or the lower leg, but not the knee. And we're going to rest like a kind of real casual pose there. And we're going to bring this right arm all the way up and over the side of our head in the direction of the foot. And breathe. Both sit bones are rooting down, and from the right waist there is an opening all the way up into the right underarm. Let's bring this right arm down towards your right side, opening the fingers, slightly back, and then bend the elbow and take the half bind. Back of the hand comes towards the back of the heart. Yeah, finding the position of your chin where you can feel greater opening through the right side of the neck. Good. And then bring the right arm out. And we're going to use this hand to sort of guide the head back as we pull with this hand back to center. And release that. Good. We'll change sides. Especially if your leg was in Virasana, then you can give it a little shake and then change sides. Right leg extended. We have a right angle. If your leg is in Virasana, then you want the second toe in line with the heel. Both butt cheeks are moving back. The toes are lifted. Good. And then we're going to take that real kind of casual. I seem to have a little bit more opening on this side, so I'm going to go for the lower leg. You might go for the thigh. Both butt cheeks are down, and then we're going to go ahead and bring that left arm high and over in the direction of the toes of the right foot. It's a side stretch. We're opening through the side body. And the head is very supported. Position of the neck you can experiment with to afford you greater opening. Let's bring that left arm towards the left side, opening the fingers, bending the elbow and bringing the back of the hand towards the back of the heart. Extend the left arm out, and I like to just use those fingers on the side of the temple there to just guide the head back to centre as you pull with the left hand. Great. And then we'll release the legs, give them a shake. Let's come and lie down on our backs. We're going to be on the ground now, so if you want to put your socks on, feel free. If you want to put any extra clothes on, then feel free. And when you're ready, you can come and bring your knees to your chest and give yourself a beautiful hug. The back fully supported. You might like to rock from side to side. Bring the feet down onto the floor. With the arms alongside the body, we'll just take a little Setu Bandha here. So with the feet on the floor, the distance of your hips, knees bent. Arms alongside the body, palms down. Firm your big toes. Inhale, lift your hips. The buttocks are soft. Head's pressing slightly into the ground. And then lower down. Breathe. Turn your palms facing upwards. And turn that light off for you. And then we'll separate the feet the distance of the mat. So keeping the knees bent, we'll just separate the feet a little more than they are currently. And we'll drop both knees across to our right side. Just taking a little twist here. We'll bring the right foot on top of the left knee and turn to the left side. The floor is cold, so if you don't want to stretch your arms out, feel free to have them on your mat or on your body. And then release that right foot, bring the knees back to centre, adjust your hips, and then drop both knees across to your left side. And the left foot can come on top of the right knee, turning to look to your right side. And release the foot, come back to centre, and once more bring the knees in to your chest. Little movements, little rocks. You can even do a little figure of 8 movement here, which feels quite nice and massaging. And then if there's anything you'd like to do before Shavasana, now is your moment. Otherwise you can extend your legs long, turn your palms to face upwards, and let yourself settle. Does anybody want a blanket? Doesn't have one? Would you like a blanket? You got one. sensation here in Shavasana is let yourself release any of the holding, any of the effort, letting go of the muscles. The effort, if you like, is in the surrender. And if you are taking this class at home, then feel free to stay as long as you like or as long as your time permits in Shavasana. And for those of you who are here with me now, you can start to deepen your breathing. Breathing evenly through both sides of the body. And start to move your fingers and toes as you come out of your pose. Go ahead and bring your legs together, stretching through your legs. Bring your arms up behind you, stretching through your arms. Stretching the back of your neck, the side body. And bring your knees to your chest. Taking your time, you can come to your right side and then slowly to seated when you're ready. And we'll join our hands in front of our hearts. And we as you breathe here, rooting down through the sit bones, find a lengthening through the back of the neck, maybe even slightly bringing the chin to the chest. And then lift from your heart all the way up into your throat, opening your throat, opening the sides of your neck. And let this free flow of energy between your heart and your throat remain. Let's close the class by chanting an Om together. From the heart, take a deep inhale. Namaste.